Headbangers Australia, my name's Matthew, we're back on the couch with Mike, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat about some slightly less metal questions and more artist-focused questions.
I feel so sophisticated.
And
already.
indeed, yes, we should have like a wine glass or something, pinky up. Now, so obviously you've carved yourself out a career working for some of Australia's best metal bands. I hope that's an accurate description.
It's been very lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
Just knowing some of the right people have come across my path, yeah.
That's not often all it takes. But we kind of wanted to know, like, as an artist, a couple of sort of deeper dive questions. So I'm going to launch straight into the first one, which I have here on my, very inconspicuous phone. So this one is about when you, as a visual artist, see a piece of artwork for the first time. What kind of mindset do you have when someone comes along and says, I've just done this cover for Putrid Toilet Seat or whatever from Western Penrith. I want you to have a look at the cover art that I've done. What mindset are you in when you first look at a piece of art for the first time?
Do I know the guy? Is he a friend of mine?
I'd say
is he in the room?
Is he in the room? Yes. Yeah.
No, well, look, generally, there's a lot of principles of design. And I mean, I've been to night school for design. I'm not a graduate.
Yep.
But there are various principles to design that you can look for if you're looking for what's wrong. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to know them to see that it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You look at it and you go, and it just doesn't look quite right. It doesn't look as good as it should.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
But if I'm looking at a piece of artwork to give advice, the first thing I'm usually looking at is from the perspective of the purpose of the piece of art.
Okay.
You know, if someone's given me a perfectly fine looking piece of art for an album cover, I'm like, where's the logo go?
Right.
Thin, you know? How does this compose for a 1x1 space?
Yep.
You know? Or is there any more? Because these guys want to use this in all these different places. You know? What do we need more?
Yep.
To make this fit for purpose.
Right.
For a modern piece of what we call key art.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
It's a key visual.
Yep.
You have one for every film, every video game, every marketing campaign.
Yep.
Has what we call a KB. You know, this is a key visual, and it's got safe areas for vertical, horizontal, landscape, extreme landscape. Otherwise, you can't make billboards or online ads or that kind of thing. So often I'm looking at it from a commercial purpose. If that's what I'm being shown is something to say, will this work?
Right.
You know?
Okay. Yep.
If someone brings me a piece of art and just says, do you think it looks cool? All I'm looking for is, does it look cool? You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Because
cool.
these are things that your brain does automatically.
Yeah.
And there are some things in which most people will have in common in their response to whether it looks right or not, whether it looks engaging, whether it looks immersive. Is often there are some rules to helping you do that, but as a consumer you don't need to know those rules. You just know whether it speaks to you or not. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And to be honest, I look at it and I go, does it look cool enough, or does it look a little bit broken?
Yeah. Cool.
And if it looks a bit broken, then we can lean into the rules and say, what could we adjust here compositionally?
Yep.
In your color space, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay.
Or in levels of detail to bring it around to what it really could be.
Yep.
And so then you apply a few rules to say, how can we adjust it?
Yeah. Okay.
But only really if your brain is telling you that it's not right already.
Yeah. Almost like instinct, really. Isn't it?
Well, and you don't need an artist to tell you that.
Yeah.
You might need an artist to help you if you think it already looks wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You've taken it to the client. They say, it's not real. God forbid they tell you it doesn't pop, right? But they might say, it doesn't grab you enough.
Right. Okay.
All the elements might be right.
Yep.
They're just not in the right place.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So generally, you don't need to be an artist to know that. You just need to know. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
If it looks cool, as I said, that I've said in our previous discussion that that's mostly my job is just can you make it look cool?
Yep.
And so if it doesn't, if it looks really cool,
yep.
Even if it looks different or new,
yeah,
And everyone will have their own little idiosyncrasies of what they love and what they don't. Some people hate certain types of art. Some people hate certain types of composition. Some people even just, don't really think it's that important anyway. But there are some background rules that you can tweak and change to make something look really, really engaging. But rule of cool is really
the way to go.
That's my first impression, is just looking at it and going, is it nice big? Is it nice small?
Yep.
And so that's when I said I'll go straight into then application.
Yeah, okay.
Where does it have to be, and does it look cool there?
Yeah, nice.
Because it might look amazing, right, in HD 1:1.
Right, yep.
Looks fantastic. With a thumbnail, it's indecipherable.
Yeah.
No idea what it is.
Yep.
Right?
We've all seen those.
And so, and even say like on a CD, on a 120 by 120 millimeter space, it just look muddy.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Right? And so usually I'll veer straight towards what you want it for.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that will tell me whether it's right.
Yeah, perfect. That's really good. All right. So this, I know you're really excited about this one because we chatted about this beforehand. But I want to know, if you have 3 album covers that you've come across in your career, that could be yours, it could be someone else's, that you really feel like should be hung alongside the greats, in galleries around the world.
I'm not a big aficionado of fine art photography, you see, but I do love some of the classic painters. Mm-hmm. And there are a few artists that often it's just, albums I can spend a long time poring over for details, And I'm going to stick to metal.
Yes.
Because
it is Headbangers Australia.
Exactly. And you don't really want me to sit there and talk to you about how long I spent staring at the cover of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, because it's one of my favourite gatefold LPs.
Yep.
It's just an amazing looking record. Yep. Killer cover. But sticking to metal, I'm going to go actually with 3 real classics. Derek Riggs' cover for Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden is, to me, it's brilliant. It's not the most detailed Eddie painting ever, but the composition is amazing. It's just so, it's so engaging. Eddie jumps out, really looking at you, and the composition of the 245-degree walls in the padded room, you've got just the right perspective. That, you feel like you're tight in this padded room. It's just beautifully composed. Incredibly detailed. It's just perfect to me. And perfect for purpose. Fits that Iron Maiden logo that must be there in that position at the top. It's just, it's a beautiful album cover.
That's a great use of the idea of Eddie as well.
Oh, sorry, But if you, and if you take the logo off, it's just a brilliant piece of art.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and anything where your subject is face and it's not leaping out and grabbing you and drawing you in, then you've got to wonder what went wrong there. But that is a fantastic example, so that's really good. All right, number 1, next to the Mona Lisa, Eddie. What else? What else?
Right next to it is, I think, Ken Kelly's cover for Rainbow Rising.
Ah, yes.
Going about another 5 years further back. Sorry, it was probably more like 6. But an amazing cover.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, I've read an interview when Eric Peterson was talking about commissioning Ella and Cantor to do the cover for the Testament album Dark Roots of Earth.
Right,
And his big reference for that cover, which I think is an amazing cover, one of the best covers Testament has ever had, was Rainbow Rising. Because it was a cover where you had this beautifully engaging, large-scale, mythic feature, but all these tiny details. So in that cover that Ken Kelly's crafted, I mean, he's done a lot. There's, Kiss and Manowar, where it's the characters, the band. It's all very Frank Frazetta. Whereas Rainbow Rising is beautifully composed. This big fist with the rainbow, with the sea, but all these tiny details, the little people moving around. You can spend hours poring over the details in that cover, but as I said, pop it like that, and it is brilliant.
And it still
on its own
works.
like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
it's
right.
a really great cover.
Yeah.
And the detail and the lighting on the hand is
that
immaculate.
lighting. Yes.
His brushwork in getting the waves in the water as well.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So I often actually come back to that when I'm looking at adding detail to things on the hand. There's just little bits, like just little strokes, very Bob Ross-ish kind of way
Right,
of, you know, they look kind of like seaweed and detritus kind of hanging off the fist because it's come up out of the water.
I've never noticed that. That's great.
And I'm always a big fan of, you know, if something looks like it just needs a little bit more darkness, a little bit more detail, some tree roots, branches, thorns, just, you know, little bits drifting off. And I look back to that in the way that he made that hand look like a chthonic, you know, from the deeps kind of hand. Yep. Just with a few of those little details. It's to me, it's a beautiful cover.
That is great. Yeah. Side note, I'm not sure if you're familiar because I'm not. Do you think the album name came first or the artwork?
Oh, Rainbow Rising.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
For that, 100% the title will come first. It's because it's Richie Blackmore and he controls everything.
That's true.
All right, he would know exactly what the album is called, and then Ken comes in and commissions for a cover. Absolutely, that would have been that.
There you go.
But you know, and Rainbow went on and had a bunch of other really great covers. But for me, Rising is a perfect example of something that's you could take the logos off it, put that painting up. I'd look at it and go, oh, that's incredible. It looks like, you know, standing alongside Renaissance depictions of scenes from the Iliad. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, nice, perfect. That's great. Number 2. Number 3. What else is up there in the
Number
pantheon?
3 is a little more modern but still old.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're at that age, aren't we? Where it's like, oh, that was only yesterday. That was 20 years ago. But
and I'm gonna give it a ooh. No, I only have 3. I only have 3. I'm gonna bring us to Andreas Marschall, who's a German painter. Yep. You may have seen covers that he's done for Creator. I'm a big fan of covers he did for Obituary as well.
Okay, yep.
But he really let himself loose with Blind Guardian. Now he had probably their cover, front and back, as a paired piece for Imaginations from the Other Side. Is just brilliant. Again, for me, I just love all the little stories, all the little details. The dragons, the guitar, looking back into the boy's bedroom and then looking out into the scene through the mirror on the desk. It's a Metalhead's Lord of the Rings fan. Where's Wally dream? It's just, you know, there's so much to see and do with that painting. And again, you can take the details away, and I just find it a really beautiful piece of it's fantasy artwork. Yes, it's genre. That's more a genre piece than either of the other 2 things the covers that I've mentioned. But still, you know, I think you could hang it along with many of the classic fantasy artists from the 20th century. Yeah, you know,
definitely. I completely agree with
Boris Vallejo's, Ken Kelly again, Frank Frazetta. You could hang it with those just as a piece of artwork, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's three great answers. I'm really stoked with those. You can get my thumbs up approval.
They're all paintings, and
that's
why I
true
said
as well.
that betrays perhaps my preferences as a younger metalhead, you know, and because there's only 3, I haven't been able to give you Dan Seagrave. You know,
we'll come back with the top 12 or something, right?
Next time we'll do an appendix.
That's right. Yeah.
Further favourites in the comments.
I love it. That's awesome. Actually, tell us your favourite album covers in the comments, and we're going to be back with Mike. We're going to talk about some of your covers and everything later on. We've been Headbangers Australia. This has been Mike Painted in Chaos. Dan's behind the camera. We'll see you next time.